Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Me Game, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you. Let's play episode of Devil's something. 1 second, y'all. Devil's Gambit. I don't know why I forgot. Oh, y'all, you know what it's like to have a little bit of a brain fart. But let's go ahead and jump back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. I want everything. Everything. To bury a claw on my burn marks, dig out the memories, and taste them all over again. To indulge in every single one. But for now, if I can hold on to this broad back, moaning and whimpering as Ranzkai dives into me, that is almost enough to sate me. There's a nagging feeling. Something else I still want out of Ranzkai. Not as the other Cadgan. Oh. Not as the other Cadgan, but as a demon. Just where did you come from, Ranzkai? You were created after the ancient Rannai fell, but why? How did it come to that? See? I've caught you. I'll do it as many times as you want. I'll keep holding on, no matter for how long, or how heavy the burden may become. I want you. All of you. So tell me. Foolish mortal. Only a taste of what demon it has to offer and you're already way in over your little head. I can't say I didn't expect it or that isn't entertaining. It's adorable, really. Very well, Badger. Allow me to indulge you, then. I thought it best to spare you of this dark tale, but who am I to deny your blooming desires? I shall reveal it all, then. Rannai, the Eye Valley, and me. The past that connects us. The tendons and tissue binding us together. Our story begins long ago, back when the world was still in flux. One night a star descended upon this land. Perhaps it was in response to a prayer, or it might have been the product of pure chance. Whatever the case, a droplet of the sky fell, in the place that would one day be known as the Eye Valley. Though it made a splash, it remained hidden, undiscovered by any soul for a time too long for you to comprehend. That was, until one day, a humble wolf hunter, a member from a then nomadic tribe, walked into the valley's maw, and in its heart finally found that droplet. At the bottom of a crater was the gate to an abyss that, unbeknown to him, would shape his people's and this land's history. From that abyss rose a haze that quickly enveloped the wolf. The hunter struck it with his spear, but it was useless. However, no harm befell him. Rather, the haze retreated on its own, accumulating in the air before him, and took shape, becoming solid. Heart, nerves, bone, flesh, and skin. Layer by layer, an entity was born there. The wolf was in shock, for this new being had a striking resemblance to him. Then it opened its eyes, and from the first moment their gazes met, the hunter understood. Nothing was out of his reach now, whether it was peace, wealth, eternity, or all the love nature had to offer. He could have it. So when the entity, or should I say the first demon of the eye, reached out to him, rather than striking it down, the hunter took that hand. This communion is how it all started, how Rannai would come to be. He returned home, changed. He was welcomed by gasps and expressions of shock. Although they all could recognize him, it was clear he was no longer the same kind of being as his clan. Not only was he bigger and stronger, but he could bend nature to his will. With but a wish, he could command saplings to grow wherever he stepped, and with a glance, fruit would ripen and fall from any plant. The trees would act as limbs, growing where he saw fit, extending his reach to the entire forest. By constricting roots around rocks, he could even mold solid stone the shape he desired. But this power wasn't meant to belong to one person, and the hunter understood this. Boons are meant to be shared, Hector. So the next time they marched, it would be towards the valley. Ooh. Nice. Oh, there's tars. Interesting. Huh. Whoa, that statue has nipples! That is a balls in a sheath. Oh my goodness, such flagrant nudity. There, all of them basked in the eye's glory, and more of my kin emerged. Together, they transformed that crater into a city, and on top of the eye's abyss, they erected a temple in its honor. For a time, the two worlds coexisted in peace. The eye then drifted in and out of slumber, mustering efforts to spread and grow. The wolves sang it a lullaby every time. The sigil we used tonight was one of the many forms that song took. Why did more of my kin appear? Good question. Do you think the Eye intended to create Rannai? The Eye wants to sleep, but it being discovered by mortals was an inevitability. Then, by creating Rannai, it attained a balance, where the mortals, rather than being the catalyst of its awakening, protected its slumber. Is that it? It's an interesting idea, if a little naive. Say, Hector, why does fire burn? Does it want to warm and comfort us? Why does rain fall and flow to the ocean? Does it want to quench the thirst of mortals? Fire, water, and so much of nature simply is. It has no intentions or desires. It is there, and it will do as it will. The eye is the same as fire and water. It has no self-awareness and no emotions. Gonna have to block out some of this. With that in mind, that ancient Rannai existed, and this equilibrium was nothing short of a miracle. And so it was that the wolves were not consumed by greed and ambition as soon as they learned of the eye's power. Still, while you might be mistaken about the eye's nature, my kin did notice what you just observed, and it made it their mission to protect that balance between wakefulness and sleep. However, no matter how good their intentions or how many songs for the eye the wolves came up with, greed did little by little poison their hearts. Think of the ecstasy you're experiencing right now, Badger. Now imagine how the wolves of old Rannai must have felt, becoming stronger, changing themselves and their environment to their liking. By this time, Rannai's legends of demons living in the valley and chasing away anyone who dared approach it had already begun taking shape. If you can believe it, the wolves were complicit at the start. So imagine this once humble tribe, becoming so powerful, could now fight back against swords, spears, whatever you threw at them. Imagine how terrified they were of losing that power. And as the wolves grew anxious, the demons grew ravenous. Power begets fear, which begets greed, which then begets more power. The summit isn't the destination, it's the beginning, or in Rannai's case, the end. The calamity began with a flash of light coming from the temple at the heart of the city. But far it was but a tremor, a shudder in the mountains. Little did they know that their days of glory had ended. After the flash, the water in the city gained an unnatural color. Something had gone awry, evidently, and a party of both wolves and demons was formed to investigate what had happened in the temple. All was quiet in the city center. They called out for the townsfolk, guards, priests, and even the children, but nobody answered. All around them was this haze, like dense clouds of dust or pollen. The water had been completely transformed into a thick purple substance, the eye's essence, and as soon as they arrived at the temple's gates, all hell broke loose. Oh! Well, that's not good. If you've ever thought I'm a monster, well, you've seen nothing, Hector. The full extent of what the eye can create is beautiful and terrible. God, that is fucked up. That's cool, though. For it, nature is not but the soil where its seeds will grow into new forms of life. The demons knew this, but as for the wolves, they only learned this truth that day. Not without struggle and sacrifice, they slew the beast made from the flesh and faith of their clan, and pushed it into the temple in search of survivors. They feared it might be too late, that everybody had already been devoured, or even worse, become part of that beast. But they still had to try. Oh, damn. However, what was waiting for them there was beyond their every expectation. Yes, what they found was a cradle. A cradle of the future, a promise of the fate that awaited them if they kept walking down that path. Oh man, this shit is so fucking cool. Whoa. Well, hello there. Oh my god. Lovecraftian as fucking shit. Oh my god. All of this is cool. Oh, I love this, y'all. This is awesome. Alright, one second, y'all. I'm gonna pause it real quick, grab some water. Guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back in. Okay. The greed. The madness that had taken over the wolves. What they saw in the temple was enough to snap them out of it. Can you imagine, Hector, the moment they learned what exactly they had invited into their bodies? I'm sure you felt it too. The guilt and the shame. There's no need to lie. Just if you want to have all of me, I'll accept all of you as well. Huh. Back to the story. There was nothing they could do for the priests, but more importantly, it had become obvious for both the wolves and demons that the dreamlike life they had enjoyed in Rannai couldn't last. They came together one last time to say goodbye to both the Eye and their city. The wolves sang their last lullaby before leaving the valley. The demons remained behind, lost without the wolves that had once given them shape, abandoned. However, unbeknown to everyone, the blood spilled during the calamity flowed through the city's canals and into the temple, and there it mixed with the Eye's essence. This caused a shift in the demons. What my kin did next, I can't tell if it was out of their own volition, being lost without the wolves, or if because the Eye willed it. The Eye had been sealed, but a pool of its essence remained accessible in a different chamber in the temple, the one the blood had flowed into. They headed there, basked in the Eye's light, returned to being pieces of its essence, nourishing me. Their consciousness were absorbed into mine until only simple ghosts of their memories remained. And that's how I came to be. I was nothing but a mind at first. How many days and nights passed before I could blink, move my fingers, arms, and legs, I cannot tell. By the time I broke out of the lake, they were all gone. Not another demon was left, and the wolves had gone and settled in the valley's border, afraid but not quite ready to let go yet. For years I wandered the old Rannai on my own. Wherever I looked, names and vague faces would appear in my mind, warm like the morning sunlight, recollections from my kin. Through them, I learned a little about the people that used to live there, and about the calamity that befell them. But what truly stayed with me was the sense of love and loss. Neither belonged to me, not fully, but I knew this. What had been built there would never exist again. It was my mission to stop this ruinous tale from repeating itself. I lean onto Ranzkai's shoulder. It's almost a reflex. The moment he wraps his arm around my shoulders, I'm resting my head against his. What do I make of all this? Rationally, it does little besides reinforcing what I already knew about the Dark God, but the true relationship between the demons and Rannai is too much for me to process right now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!